Milder conditions continue as we go through your Christmas holiday. And of course, we have some drizzle on the way. More about that in just a moment.
Right now this morning, more of the Epstein files are slowly being released, but the DOJ faces backlash. And weather may get in the way of your holiday travels this week. And the rise of surveillance pricing could be affecting the prices of your last-minute holiday shopping. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Brooklyn Hine. Alexandra has the week off. It is Wednesday, December 24th, and it is Christmas Eve today. We'll hand it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. Merry Christmas Eve, Art.
Thank you, Brooklyn. Same to you as well. Our first Christmas.
Yes.
All right, as we get into it here, we hold on to the possibility of this as we get right back into it here. We're going to increase the temperatures as we go through the next few days as high pressure continues to build down to our south. Eau Claire is looking at 33 to about 38 degrees. Then the 40s pop in as we go into Saturday. Then, boom, we drop it down as we get into Sunday back down to the teens. La Crosse, on the other hand, we're looking at the possibility of this. We'll go right into how it all shapes up with upper 30s. Then the 40s roll in for Friday and Saturday. We have the possibility of, again, dropping temperatures down into the 20s. Yeah, that's changed a bit now. We were supposed to be in the teens, but we backed off of that. Holding on to this morning's lows, well, temperatures from 17 to about, say, 24 degrees for La Crosse, 20 in Eau Claire, 23 in Prairie du Chien, and then once you get into areas right by Viroqua, you're looking at 26 degrees. We have quiet weather out there right now, still holding on to light winds, calm winds. In fact, you'll see east, northeast winds over in Eau Claire. You're looking at 20 degrees out there as well. From Winona, 27 degrees with southeasterly winds out of 6 miles per hour. Gusts possibly later on to about 15. We'll hold on to this, though. Increasing clouds gradually as we go through the morning. We're looking at partly cloudy to cloudier skies leading into your afternoon with 30s on the way. Similar conditions for Eau Claire as well. 20s in the lower 30s right into the afternoon. We'll get into how this all shapes up with moisture still well up to our north with snowfall. When I come back, I'll have a better overview of how this all shapes up for your day. So please stick around.
Now, millions of people are expected to hit the roads, rails, and skies today in the final trek home for the holidays, but weather could get in the way. CBS Jared Hill has the latest.
In the race to get home for Christmas, delays are the name of the game out west.
A little extra stress, and you just have to be prepared for the unexpected.
Maggie Nelson finally reunited with her family in San Francisco Wednesday. Her flight nearly 2 hours late.
I got delayed again. I don't think we took off till like 3:30.
Storms with heavy wind and rain have been slamming California. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, a bit of snow and a few long lines. Then in Oregon, this llama to keep you calmer in the rush.
She said, "You want to hug it?" I said, "Sure."
AAA is estimating another record this holiday. 122 million people expected to travel, up from just over 119 last year. Some late travel advice.
If you've got still some flexibility, maybe book a Christmas Day flight. Those tend to be cheaper and airports are just calmer on Christmas Day.
AAA says the same for the roads, with most Americans likely to head home by car. Their estimate, about 110 million. Aubrey Vega took the 12-hour drive from El Paso, Texas to Galveston.
I feel like everyone was just trying to visit family, so it was going to be eventually packed.
But in Los Angeles County, officials are suggesting drivers reconsider their plans, with a winter storm expected to bring wind, relentless rain, and snow.
What worse time, right, for something like this to happen? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Potentially lasting into Friday. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now, if you're still planning to fly, TSA issued a bit of a warning this month, or a TSA PSA. They posted, quote, "The body scanners don't love sparkles. We don't want to dull your holiday shine, but we don't recommend wearing your sparkly holiday sweater to the airport. What a bummer." And more on those California floods. Downpours and heavy winds are expected in the Los Angeles area through Friday. Authorities are particularly concerned about floods and mudslides in neighborhoods burned by wildfires last January. Officials went door to door yesterday, warning residents to leave. And as you travel this holiday, keep the First Warn weather app handy to track weather 24/7. This morning, the DOJ is facing heavy criticism for how it's releasing court documents linked to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Hundreds of thousands of files are still being held back, some trickling out slowly. In the latest batch released yesterday, President Trump's name is listed multiple times, though the Justice Department says many of the claims in them are unfounded and false. CBS News' Jared Hill has more.
The Department of Justice released tens of thousands of new Jeffrey Epstein files this week, some mentioning President Trump, then a private citizen, by name. There's this DOJ email that says Mr. Trump took more flights on Epstein's plane than previously known, at least 8 in the 90s.
I actually threw him out of Mar-a-Lago.
President Trump has said he had a falling out with Epstein years ago and maintains he had no knowledge of the well-connected convicted sex offender's crimes.
What this whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has.
The Justice Department defended President Trump in a social media post Tuesday, writing that the documents contained sensationalist claims about the president that are unfounded and false. Other emails show that federal agents asked for updates in contacting 10 potential co-conspirators, including Epstein's girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, but most names are redacted.
We are not going to quit until justice is done.
Congressional Democrats and some Republicans have criticized the DOJ for not meeting the law's deadline to release all of the files with necessary redactions by last Friday. Jennifer Freeman, an attorney for some of Epstein's survivors, says they're raising concerns as well.
They want the truth, and it's been very hard to get the truth.
The DOJ says it still has hundreds of thousands of files to release. Lawmakers are threatening to take legal action to force them to speed up. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The Justice Department maintains that it needs time to review the materials and make redactions to protect survivors. Now for a News 8 follow-up, a judge is dismissing charges against a Genoa man accused of killing a pregnant woman. That man is Matthew Sierra, a La Crosse County judge, now giving prosecutors 72 hours to refile the case. The judge citing issues with the criminal complaint, which does not include a report from fire investigators. Sierra allegedly killed his girlfriend, Alexis Pickett, who was pregnant with his child. He reportedly then set her home on fire. Sierra is held on $1 million cash bond. A judge ordering Morgan Geyser back to a state psychiatric hospital. She escaped from her Winnebago group home last month. Geyser is serving a 40-year sentence for stabbing her classmate in 2014 to please the fictional character Slenderman. Flu activity is surging in Wisconsin. According to UW Health, the percentage of patients testing positive for influenza nearly tripled in just 1 week, jumping from 5% during the week of December 8th to 14% last week. As of today, there have been 2 pediatric deaths in Wisconsin tied to the flu. Governor Tony Evers is extending Wisconsin's energy emergency. The reason: continued pipeline disruptions. Evers first declared an emergency on December 5th. It was tied to a disruption and a high demand for heating fuel. The declaration remains in effect through January 16th. The Black Hawk Bridge ferry service is back in action. It was suspended during the implosion of the bridge last Friday and while crews spent the weekend clearing the path of debris. The ferry runs 7 days a week from 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. After weeks of recovery and treatment, the owl rescued from La Crosse's Goose Island is finally back where it belongs. News 8 Now's JDS McGee has more on the month-long recovery.
The barred owl that was rescued from Goose Islands weeks ago was released back into the wild after a long recovery. Witnesses say the owl was found hanging upside down, trapped in a fishing line in a tree multiple feet in the air. It was unclear how long it had been stuck.
Barred owl being a owl that comes out in the evening hours and the early morning hours, we don't know how long that bird had been hanging there, so it was serious.
The Cooley Region Humane Society treated the owl for minor cuts on its foot and significant damage to feathers on one wing. After weeks of care, staff say the focus wasn't just on healing the owl, but making sure it could return to the right place.
It's really important to get them back in a place that they know they have kind of a range they'd like to stay in. And so putting them back in that range is really important.
The man who reported the owl says seeing it free made the effort feel much more worthwhile.
To see the community come together to help heal this animal and get it back into the wild is a beautiful thing.
Staff says situations like this are a reminder of how easily wildlife can be harmed, and they encourage anyone to remove fishing line and litter whenever possible. Still ahead on your morning news, a new survey shows that consumer confidence in the economy is dropping. The latest GDP report shows the U.S. economy is accelerating at a fast pace, and a new rule is banning certain drones due to security concerns. And last-minute holiday shopping prices may be high due to surveillance pricing. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. It has been 20 years since the first Elf on the Shelf was made. 20 years ago in Marietta, Georgia, Chandra Bell and her family created the new tradition of Elf on the Shelf that has since cemented itself into Christmas lore. Since then, more than 31 million Scouts, elves, elf pets, and elf mates have been sold to watch over children before Christmas. And as you begin to wake up this morning, we leave you with a quick wake-up call with the NORAD Santa tracker, which says Santa is currently leaving Antarctica and on his way to New Zealand. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
Get Progressive Rug Savings right now at all Homeworld Rugs. The more you buy, the more you save on your total rug purchase of $199 or more. Get up to $500 off sale prices. Every style is on sale now at up to 50% off regular prices. The Progressive Rug Sale, now at Homeworld Rugs.
I'm a martial artist, a skydiver, a pilot, and all of them require your feet to work. Get up in the morning, and it felt like I was standing on marbles on my heel. When I went into the Good Feet store, the fitting was personalized. It was all about me. You put in the arch supports, and your day becomes better, and the sun shines, the unicorns run by, and, you know, it's a good life. I'm Randy, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Get great gifts for the gearhead in your family at Menards. We carry automotive products and mechanic tools from the most trusted brands. This Masterforce 3-ton, low-profile floor jack lifts fast for quick and easy automotive work. Get one now for $149.99. Get stability where you need it with Masterforce 3-ton jack stands. They feature secure double-locking safety protection. A 2-pack makes a great gift. Only $34.99.
Welcome to Hotel 44 North, where history, nature, and hospitality meet. Nestled in the heart of downtown Winona, our boutique retreat features 76 elegant rooms, including 24 spacious suites with kitchenettes, perfect for weekend getaways or extended stays. Step outside to river views, blufftop scenery, downtown shops, and scenic trails. Inside, enjoy luxury rooms, a pool, and sauna, all backed by our best rate guarantee. Unwind in our cozy lobby or sift craft cocktails at Latitude Bar and Lounge. Hotel 44 North, your place in Winona.
Is your body sending you an SOS? If you have high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes, your kidneys could be warning you about increased risks like heart attack or stroke. Don't miss the hidden signal. Ask your doctor about a UACR urine test.
Engines rev, are you listening?
Fun to drive, fuel efficient.
Such beautiful style.
We're happy for miles, driving in a Honda Wonderland.
It's that time of year again, Happy Honda Days, where you can drive in a Honda Wonderland of your own with a great offer on a fun-to-drive new Honda. Hurry into your local Honda dealer and experience the wonder of Happy Honda Days today.
'Tis the best time to shop Christmas at Home Seasonal Concepts. Now enjoy 60% off the festive selection of trees, wreaths, garland, and all your enchanting holiday decor needs. Embrace the magic of the season. Shop holiday at Home Seasonal Concepts, inside all home furniture showrooms.
In your morning consumer news, consumer confidence is down this month. According to the latest survey from the Conference Board, the monthly report showed consumers' views of their family's current financial situation dipped into negative territory for the first time in nearly 4 years. Consumers across all income levels also expressed more concern about the state of the labor market, with the unemployment rate recently hitting a 4-year high. The U.S. economy got an unexpected boost last quarter. The third quarter GDP report showed the U.S. economy accelerated at an inflation-adjusted annualized rate of 4.3%. That's the fastest growth rate in 2 years. Consumer spending and exports were the main contributors to the strong GDP reading, which was delayed due to the government shutdown. And a new rule by the Federal Communications Commission has banned the import, sale, and use of all new drone models made by foreign manufacturers, including the world's largest drone maker, DJI. The FCC concluded those drones are capable of surveilling, gathering data, and conducting destructive operations over the U.S. The FCC ban does not include foreign-made drones currently in use or already approved for sale. This holiday season, you and your neighbor could be shopping for the exact same item, but paying very different prices. Consumer advocates say surveillance pricing may be to blame, a practice that uses your personal data while you shop online. Evan Moon explains.
You may be shopping for gifts from the comfort of your couch, but stores can still see who you are.
Most of these companies are charging you a different price based on some data they have about you. It could be your location, it could be your proximity to the store, it could be your shopping history, knowing that you bought a product previously and are willing to pay for it again.
It's a practice most people aren't aware of. Do you know what surveillance pricing is?
No, never heard of it. What is it?
Consumer Watchdog President Jamie Court says surveillance pricing is nearly impossible to avoid.
You know, you can try to limit how much information they have about you, but the genie's out of the bottle, unfortunately.
Court says his organization has evidence all the major retailers use personal algorithms to nudge a price up or down, targeting data from your Amazon cart, Uber rides, or even the brand of laptop you're using to shop.
No, it wouldn't surprise me, but I would probably monitor pricing on a general basis more frequently.
And for those traveling for the holidays,
Airlines will charge you a different price depending upon how many times you go to the website.
he says using a private browsing mode is one strategy.
It used to be you had to shop around to get the best price. Now you have to shop around and pretend you're not you. It's nuts.
But Jameson Spivak with the Future Privacy Forum says all the data collection could mean lower prices for some frequent shoppers.
Personalized pricing can benefit consumers through individualized discounts or loyalty programs that reward consumers for repeat business.
Currently, there is no federal regulation for companies that use surveillance pricing. We reached out to the FTC, who has been investigating this practice. A spokesperson said no comment. Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
New York and California have implemented laws to target surveillance pricing and provide transparency for consumers. Proposed federal legislation has not made it through Congress. Well, that's a look at your consumer news. Now let's send it over to News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett.
All right, and away we go, holding on to the possibility of, again, quiet weather this early morning. You can see 20s still holding on to our local forecast here, getting into 27 as you get into areas right by Winona. Southeast winds, 6 miles per hour. The winds are fairly light right now. Beautiful view out there currently. Getting back to La Crosse, the folks are starting to pick up a little bit of movement on the roadways now. Coming out of La Crescent, we'll keep an eye on that as well. The roadways are dry, holding on to similar conditions up in Eau Claire with light winds there as well. Folks doing well on the roads. We'll get back into it here with snowfall up to the north by Rice Lake, continuing to Rhinelander now. Drier conditions down to the south currently. Not much in the way of fog this early morning to show, but we'll get back into it a wider view, and you can see how this stretches out there. We've got a lot going on. Drizzle is expected as we go into the day today here locally. Once we get out to areas right by Portland, Maine, you're looking at some snowfall going to the northeast, holding on to about 1.5 inches of snow there. Dry conditions down to the south from the southeast all the way into portions of the central portion and southern portions of the area as you get down to the south. Then we go out to the west. We have the rainfall that is heavy out there, continues to drive all the way up into Portland, where it's turning into a mix of rain and snow. And then as it goes into Canada, it's holding on to more snow up there, and that continues to track. We're keeping an eye on that because it's going to continue to drive all the way up. But then a little troughing pattern starts, and we start to see that snowfall. That's where it's coming from, out of Canada, working its way towards areas by Rhinelander. As we get into how this all shapes up, we go back to here, holding on to the possibility of heavier rainfall continuing on. It's light to moderate rainfall right now, with the possibility of severe weather possibly getting in there with a little bit of extra flooding on the way. We'll keep an eye on that as we get a little bit closer here to it. You can see that that's going on just north of Los Angeles there, getting into portions of Santa Barbara, possibly along the coast. We'll even take a look here as we get back to a wider view here, how this all shapes up. We've got moisture on the way for us. We hold on to the possibility of temperatures from the northern tier. You're looking at mostly 40s, 20s, and 30s out there as well. We'll be in the 30s today. Back out to the east, you're holding on to the possibility of some 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. More of those 80s down to the south as well, and 70s for the central portion of the nation. So travel here is great for most of the major hubs. But by the time we get to tomorrow and then the next couple of following days going into the weekend, All that moisture is working eastward, and we're going to find ourselves flipping the script here. Getting into Saturday, we're going to be seeing possibilities of still milder conditions in the 40s, but once we get into Sunday, that's when all that colder air starts to roll in from Canada, and of course, we have the possibility of some snowfall getting into the forecast there. Highs for Wednesday, 30s and some 40s in the forecast for us today. Then we pick this up as we go into it. Drier conditions will ensue possibly this morning, then turning into, again, drizzle. That continues in the evening hours. This will continue on as we go all the way through Thursday. This is Christmas now, holding on to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The possibility of, again, some moisture, some snowfall, maybe a mix coming out of Minneapolis, going towards Ladysmith and towards Eau Claire by the 10 o'clock hour going to the evening. Then that continues to drive all the way in the overnight. So fortunately, hopefully folks aren't driving on the roadways, because this is what's going to happen in the early morning hours. That continues on all the way to the 2:30 hour and into sunrise. We're pretty much done by that time, rolling into that is tracking out of by the lake. And once we get into how this all shapes up Thursday, tomorrow for Christmas, Merry Christmas. We're holding on to the possibility of 30s and a widespread 30s at best. We get into Friday's highs. We're looking at a drier day, even milder. Temperatures will be in the 30s and the 40s. And eventually, as we go right in how this all shapes up, this is Friday. Tomorrow, as you can see, I should say tomorrow, this is like Thursday night going into Friday. This is what happens. We have snowfall possibilities overnight. That's about a 60% chance of that happening now. That carries over into Friday morning. You've got snowfall possibilities of that continuing on. Then you've got the possibility of, again, a mix of rain and snow up there to the north. You get into Rhinelander all the way down to Eau Claire. There's rainfall here, maybe possibly a little freezing rain associated with that as well. That kicks out by the 11 o'clock hour and we should be done. We'll get into Saturday. We'll also see some shower activity possibly by the 2 o'clock hour, a 20% chance, but well up to the north. Then we get in how this all shapes up. We go back into Sunday. Blustery conditions happening as we flip the script here, bringing in snowfall for Twin Cities over to Eau Claire. Tries to get down to La Crosse as well by the 6 o'clock hour, so finishing out by the late day. And then as we go into how this all shapes up, it's up and out and done. Then we get into Tuesday, possibly a little bit of snowfall coming back again as we go right back in how this all shapes up for your Wednesday, which is Christmas Eve. We'll take a look how this all shapes up for the next couple of days, though. We'll hold on to the possibility, again, warmer temperatures on the way. Then we hold on again for that snowfall I just showed you going into your Wednesday, possibly going into your overnight, into your New Year's Eve day. Back to you.
A new program could help people get access to weight loss drugs for only $50 a month. We have when this will be available coming up. And kindness is a staple of the holidays, and new research shows that holiday cheer can actually help with chronic pain.
Teams were looking to notch a victory before the holiday pause last night. I've got highlights from a hotly contested matchup on the ice and a couple contests on the hardwood. Next in the Blitz.
Time is running out at Howe's Diamond Jewelers in downtown La Crosse. These are the final days of the sale, with up to 80% off diamonds, gemstones, and gold jewelry. You won't see savings like this again, so come in now before it's all gone.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line, many impacted by physical or mental health challenges. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net that keeps them safely in their homes. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative, with 95 cents of every dollar donated going directly to those right here in your community. Help by visiting www.heatforheroes.org or by calling 1-800-891-9276. That's 800-891-9276.
News 8 Now wants to help you create memories with your family by watching movies on the big screen. Friday Flicks with Vicki Nichols of Sparta Cinema will tell you all about upcoming must-see blockbusters, plus exclusive deals at the theater. Watch this Friday at 5 a.m. on News 8 This Morning, presented by Sparta Cinema.
You're young, but your bathroom is old. I get it. I visit my kids, grandkids, my precious great-grandkids. Doesn't fit their lifestyle. Not safe. Old and ugly. You'll be amazed at the transformation you can make in just a few days. New tub and shower with all new fixtures, new toilet, new sink and vanity, new flooring, at an investment much less than you might think. Call the Board Store Home Improvements today for a prompt free estimate on your new bathroom.
Time is running out at Howe's Diamond Jewelers in downtown La Crosse. These are the final days of the sale with up to 80% off diamonds, gemstones, and gold jewelry. You won't see savings like this again, so come in now before it's all gone.
All right, what do you think?
I think we can do a little better.
I think we can do even better.
I agree. That's more like it.
Happy holidays. News 8 Now Sports.
Welcome into the Blitz. Well, before spending some time with family and friends during the holiday break, some married teams were looking to unwrap one more victory last night before they get back to work next week. We begin on the ice. Madison Memorial taking on the Onalaska Lacrosse Co-op. Pick this one up with the home side down 1. The puck gets behind the Spartan goalie, and Jackson Egan taps it home to tie things up. Then after adding another goal in the second, it's Egan. This time drops it off to Logan Sauter for the easy finish. Visitors would come back, scoring 2 goals of their own just before the end of regulation, so we head to overtime, and then Carter Johnson calls game. This one-timer closes this one out, and the Hilltoppers outlast the Spartans, taking it 4-3. In hoops action, Holman boys hosting Chippewa Falls. First half, Jax Meyer in his bag between the legs to the spin off the window, bucket plus the bump. Nifty move there by the junior. A little later, the Chi-High defense collapsing on Alex Burgett, so he swings it out to Jaden Bartels, who sticks the 3 plus the foul for the potential 4-point play. That makes it a 7-point Viking deficit, and the home side closing the first half strong. Cohen Kenhammer gets the handoff and pulls the trigger from distance and connects. Holman uses that momentum at the end of the first half to notch a 10-point victory. And on the girls' side, it's Lafarge making the trip to take on Cashton. We begin with Eagle Junior Evelyn Weber getting the steal and gives her teammate Kennedy Brown with the open look, who lays it up and in for the easy 2. And the home side showing off the shooting from downtown. Freshman Finley Brown splashes it home to make it a 20-point lead. Wildcats would put together some nice possessions after the break, but the hustle on both ends of the court by the Eagles would help wrap this one up on their home court as they defend it. 59-26 is your final. That's going to do it for your Christmas Eve edition of the Blitz. Cade, we'll see you back here later tonight.
Come home for the holidays at Home Furniture. Everything is on sale this holiday season. Right now, get free shipping when you spend $4.99 and free white glove delivery when you spend $14.99. Plus an extra 15% off floor models and clearance. Home for the holidays, now at Home Furniture.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend. So happy together. And the first timer. The neighborhood hero. And the out-of-towners. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
During Chevy Red Tag, get 0% financing on this Silverado. That's over $6,900 total value. Plus, Chevy owners get $3,750 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't wait too long to finish your shopping. Wrap it all up at Fleet Farm now. This week only, holiday snack trays are 25% off. For your furry friends, buy one, get one 50% off all Kong treats and toys. Pop into Toyland for 40% off select toys for the kids. Plus, don't miss Milwaukee Deal Days, happening right now at Fleet Farm, the home of last-minute gifting for everyone on your list. And for even more ideas, check out our gift guides at fleetfarm.com.
Hey, Dominic here to tell you about our great Wisconsin-made gifts for every occasion. T-shirts for birthdays, cookbooks for showers, aprons for Mother's Day, hats for Father's Day, gift boxes for weddings and thank you gifts, and for Christmas or any other celebration. We have mini cinnamon bears. They even smell like pleasing. Get your gifts at our outlet store on Ward Avenue, La Crosse.
Last minute shopping.
Oh, yes, please help.
Gift guide. Do you know why to look?
You mean where?
Well, Macy's is the where, filled with great whats, but only you know the why. Come on.
Okay.
Ooh. Like why this would be the right scent for them.
Right.
Why a little red box can bring out big feelings. Okay, now you give it a why.
Oh, why? Because they won't ask for it, but they totally deserve it.
I think you've got a gift for this.
Technically, I think I know of several gifts.
The Medicare open enrollment has now ended, but if your plan is being canceled, don't worry. You have until December 31st to find a new plan. At Strive Medicare, we bring over 40 years of experience working with Medicare plans. Let our trusted local team guide you to the coverage you deserve.
We came to Strive Medicare and everything was taken care of. A seamless experience.
We're conveniently located inside the Social Security building in downtown La Crosse.
Call Strive Medicare today. We're here to help every step of the way.
It's the Tempur-Pedic New Year's sale at Home Sleep Express. Get up to $500 off select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets, plus a $300 home shopping card with free white glove delivery and pay no interest for 5 years. The Tempur-Pedic New Year's sale at Home Sleep Express.
Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
Milder conditions continue with drizzle on the way this afternoon. More about that coming up in just a moment.
Right now this morning, more of the Epstein files are slowly being released, but the DOJ faces backlash. Weather may get in the way of your holiday travels this week. And new research shows how being kind and receiving kindness can actually help people with chronic pain. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Brooklyn Hine. Alexandra has the week off. It is Wednesday, December 24th, and it is Christmas Eve day. We'll hand it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. Merry Christmas Eve, Art.
Thank you. And I love the color too, by the way.
Yes, the red.
All right, we get back into it here. We're holding on to the possibility of this. We have some drizzle later on today going to your evening hours with milder conditions on the way. More of those middle to upper 30s in the forecast for us as we roll right back into your Thursday for Christmas. And then Friday and Saturday, you have some 40s on the way. Then we drop those temperatures as we flip the script, turning into colder conditions for you as we slow it down. In fact, we'll even see some snowfall possibly in the forecast as well. Lows this morning getting into 17 to about, say, 27 degrees out there. And as we roll right in how this all shapes up, it is a quiet morning. Folks are out on the roadways already, and you can see though some of that wind is already gusting up right now, getting into Eau Claire, 20-degree temperatures. In fact, you're seeing east-northeast winds right now, and of course they're at 6 miles per hour, but the gusts are probably in the teens currently as we roll into increasing clouds gradually as we go through the morning hours, 20s and the 30s into your afternoon. How about this though for Eau Claire? Similar conditions, partly cloudy skies leading into at least the 20s, and the 30s roll in with cloudier skies into your afternoon, giving way to some of that snowfall already up there by Rhinelander right now. It already brushed Rusk County, but as we get into it here, we have highs today expected from 35 to about, say, 38 degrees. You get into La Crosse, 41 in Prairie du Chien, 35 in Eau Claire. When I come back, I'll have a better overview of how this all shapes up for those folks that are still traveling or who are staying by. Stick around.
Well, speaking of travel, millions of people are expected to hit the roads, rails, and skies today in the final trek home for the holidays. But weather could get in the way. CBS Jared Hill has the latest.
In the race to get home for Christmas, delays are the name of the game out west.
A little extra stress, and you just have to be prepared for the unexpected.
Maggie Nelson finally reunited with her family in San Francisco Wednesday. Her flight nearly 2 hours late.
I got delayed again. I don't think we took off till like 3:30.
Storms with heavy wind and rain have been slamming California. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, a bit of snow and a few long lines. Then in Oregon, this llama to keep you calmer in the rush.
She said, "Do you want to hug it?" I said, "Sure."
AAA is estimating another record this holiday. 122 million people expected to travel, up from just over 119 last year. Some late travel advice.
If you've got still some flexibility, maybe book a Christmas Day flight. Those tend to be cheaper and airports are just calmer on Christmas Day.
AAA says the same for the roads, with most Americans likely to head home by car. Their estimate, about 110 million. Aubrey Vega took the 12-hour drive from El Paso, Texas to Galveston.
I feel like everyone was just trying to visit family, so it was going to be eventually packed.
But in Los Angeles County, officials are suggesting drivers reconsider their plans, with a winter storm expected to bring wind, relentless rain, and snow.
What worse time, right, for something like this to happen? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Potentially lasting into Friday. Jared Hill, CBS News.
If you're still planning to fly, TSA issued a bit of a warning this month, or a TSA PSA. They posted, quote, "The body scanners don't love sparkles. We don't want to dull your holiday shine, but we don't recommend wearing your sparkly holiday sweater to the airport." What a bummer. And more on those California floods. Downpours and heavy winds are expected in the Los Angeles area through Friday. Authorities are particularly concerned about floods and mudslides in the neighborhoods burned by wildfires last January. Officials went door to door yesterday, warning residents to leave. And as you travel this holiday, keep the First Warn weather app handy to track weather 24/7. This morning, the DOJ is facing heavy criticism for how it's releasing court documents linked to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Hundreds of thousands of files are still being held back, some trickling out slowly. In the latest batch released yesterday, President Trump's name is listed multiple times, though the Justice Department says many of the claims in them are unfounded and false. CBS News' Jared Hill has more.
The Department of Justice released tens of thousands of new Jeffrey Epstein files this week, some mentioning President Trump, then a private citizen, by name. There's this DOJ email that says Mr. Trump took more flights on Epstein's plane than previously known, at least 8 in the 90s.
I actually threw him out of Mar-a-Lago.
President Trump has said he had a falling out with Epstein years ago and maintains he had no knowledge of the well-connected convicted sex offender's crimes.
What this whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has.
The Justice Department defended President Trump in a social media post Tuesday, writing that the documents contained sensationalist claims about the president that are unfounded and false. Other emails show that federal agents asked for updates in contacting 10 potential co-conspirators, including Epstein's girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, but most names are redacted.
We are not going to quit until justice is done.
Congressional Democrats and some Republicans have criticized the DOJ for not meeting the law's deadline to release all of the files with necessary redactions by last Friday. Jennifer Freeman, an attorney for some of Epstein's survivors, says they're raising concerns as well.
They want the truth, and it's been very hard to get the truth.
The DOJ says it still has hundreds of thousands of files to release. Lawmakers are threatening to take legal action to force them to speed up. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The Justice Department maintains that it needs time to review the materials and make redactions to protect survivors. Now for a News 8 follow-up, a judge is dismissing charges against a Genoa man accused of killing a pregnant woman. That man is Matthew Sierra, a La Crosse County judge, now giving prosecutors 72 hours to refile the case. The judge citing issues with the criminal complaint, which does not include a report from fire investigators. Sierra allegedly killed his girlfriend, Alexis Pickett, who was pregnant with his child. He reportedly then set her home on fire. Sierra is held on $1 million cash bond. A judge ordering Morgan Geyser back to a state psychiatric hospital. She escaped from her Winnebago group home last month. Geyser is serving a 40-year sentence for stabbing her classmate in 2014 to please the fictional character Slenderman. Flu activity is surging in Wisconsin, according to UW Health. The percentage of patients testing positive for influenza nearly tripled in just 1 week, jumping from 5% during the week of December 8th to 14% last week. As of today, there have been 2 pediatric deaths in Wisconsin tied to the flu. Governor Tony Evers is extending Wisconsin's energy emergency. The reason, continued pipeline disruptions. Evers first declared an emergency on December 5th. It was tied to a disruption and a high demand for heating fuel. The declaration remains in effect through January 16th. The Black Hawk Bridge ferry service is back in action. It was suspended during the implosion of the bridge last Friday, and while crews spent the weekend clearing the path of debris. The ferry runs 7 days a week from 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. After weeks of recovery and treatment, the owl rescued from La Crosse's Goose Island is finally back where it belongs. News 8 Now's Jadis McGee has more on the month-long recovery.
The barred owl that was rescued from Goose Islands weeks ago was released back into the wild after a long recovery. Witnesses say the owl was found hanging upside down, trapped in a fishing line in a tree multiple feet in the air. It was unclear how long it had been stuck.
Barred owl being a owl that comes out in the evening hours and the early morning hours, we don't know how long that bird had been hanging there, so it was serious.
The Cooley Region Humane Society treated the owl for minor cuts on his foot and significant damage to feathers on one wing. After weeks of care, staff say the focus wasn't just on healing the owl, but making sure it could return to the right place.
It's really important to get them back in a place that they know they have kind of a range they'd like to stay in. And so putting them back in that range is really important.
The man who reported the owl says seeing it free made the effort feel much more worthwhile.
To see the community come together to help heal this animal and get it back into the wild is a beautiful thing.
Staff says situations like this are a reminder of how easily wildlife can be harmed, and they encourage anyone to remove fishing line and litter whenever possible. Some Medicare recipients may soon have access to weight loss drugs under a new voluntary program. Medicare is currently banned by law from covering weight loss medicines, but the agency that oversees Medicare and Medicaid will work to negotiate lower prices with the weight loss drug makers. It will be $50 a month for the drugs. Medicare recipients should be able to access the weight loss drugs by July, and state Medicaid agencies can join the model program by May. The number of alcohol-related deaths is rising in the U.S., even as the number of alcohol-related hospitalizations is staying the same. A study published in JAMA found between 2016 and 2022, alcohol mortality, length of stay in the hospital, and health care costs related to alcohol all rose. The study's authors say alcohol-related treatment and prevention need to be expanded. It's the time of year for spreading goodwill, and showing kindness not only helps others, but experts say it can also benefit you. Mandy Gaither talks to a doctor about how holiday kindness may actually ease chronic pain.
If you're one of the millions of Americans with pain that doesn't go away, you may find relief in medicine, but a dose of kindness may be a helpful prescription.
Kindness is really an expression of care. And what ends up happening is it can induce an incredible amount of positive emotional states.
Pain management Dr. Trishul Kapoor with Cleveland Clinic says when that positivity floods our brains, it can release feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin, and can actually disrupt pain pathways and reduce overall perception of that pain.
In the same sense, kindness becomes almost sort of a life hack, and we call it the helper's high, to be able to have that same mechanism to have benefit in your overall mental health and well-being.
Kapoor says being kind can also increase levels of hormones like oxytocin, which can dilate blood vessels and lower blood pressure. And the best part is the acts of kindness that may bring relief can also be simple, like getting involved in the community, volunteering, giving financially, or giving of your time to help others. Even saying hello or greeting someone else can go a long way.
To treat any kind of condition, it's more than just medications and interventions. It needs to be treated holistically, because life outside of an appointment room or a hospital is quite large, and we can't always control all of that with a medication or a specific treatment.
Dr. Kapoor says kindness also extends to yourself. He says self-compassion when you're feeling pain is a big part of being kind, because when you don't appreciate yourself, you're not able to help others. It's Christmas Eve, and some celebrities are getting into the holiday spirit. Taylor Swift has made a huge donation to a certain charity. We have how much she donated coming up.
Tired of hard water and harsh chlorine? Maxwell White Water Conditioning brings you the all-new Dual Media Water Softener. Say hello to softer skin, luxurious hair, and water that feels amazing. Call Maxwell White today, where better water starts here.
Eagle Crest North in Onalaska is expanding. Our tradition of excellence continues to grow with the addition of our new luxury senior apartments opening in January 2026. Expect nothing less than exceptional amenities. Choose your ideal home from well-designed floor plans. I'm Tammy, and I've been welcoming residents to our community for 17 years. Call me today to reserve your new home.
Join us for a weekly open house or schedule your private tour today.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford Crew.
It's a great time to buy, great time for traditions.
Like loading up a Ford SUV and going to Grandma's house.
Hitting the slopes in a built wild Bronco.
Or making the big delivery with Ford F-Series.
Does it come in red? Making customers happy. That's my favorite tradition.
Like my sweater.
Get 0 down, 0% financing, and 0 payments for 90 days. Plus $2,000 bonus cash on Explorer. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
In 1969, Taco John's combined Western traditions with Mexican flavors and created West Mex. More than 50 years later, it still tastes like a good idea. West Mex meals start at just $5, only at Taco John's.
Really painful feet. I had no idea what was going on. It's hard to put in words how gratifying it is to have that kind of pain gone.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Hy-Vee is your holiday headquarters. Save big Saturday through Wednesday. Cook's ham portions, just $1.77 a pound. Hy-Vee butter, just $2.88. Hy-Vee canned corn or green beans, 2 for $1. 5 pounds of potatoes, $1.48. Cream cheese, just $1.28. Save on Nabisco snack crackers, Lay's and Kettle Cooked chips, Pepsi 6-packs, and more. Save in-store and online, Saturday through Wednesday, only at Hy-Vee.
If you've been waiting for the best time to buy furniture, this is it. King Furniture is preparing for the biggest sale of the year and will be closed December 24th and 25th to celebrate with our families. But we'll reopen Friday, December 26th for an incredible year-end clearance. Shop store-wide savings as we clear out inventory and make room for new styles in 2026. Our showroom is stocked with the brands you love, available for free delivery. The year-end clearance starting this Friday at King Furniture.
While chlorine helps keep city water safe, did you know it could be damaging to your hair and skin? Our new dual media 2-in-1 water softener and carbon filter combo removes that hardness and chlorine. So upgrade your water today and protect your home and your health.
Good morning.
You better believe it's a good morning. Coffee, exercise, kids to school, work, errands, or yeah, even this.
Just don't forget about us or your coat.
News 8 now this morning. It's everything you're looking for in a morning show.
We go through the next few days, my friends, Monday to Tuesday.
On Mindful Monday. The details on Foodie Friday.
An overview of all this all shapes up for your day, so please stick around.
News 8 Now Seth Padilla is live with those details.
News 8 Now this morning.
Every weekday at 5.
Well, good morning to you and welcome back as we get into your local weather. Quiet conditions right now for all of us here, holding on to La Crosse, 24 degrees and calm. We get back into 20 degrees going into areas by Eau Claire. Winds out of the east-northeast. You have a little bit of breeze out there right now, pushing that flag a bit. That's a big flag, right? Holding on to 28 degrees as you get right into areas by Winona. Southeast winds about 6 miles per hour currently, and those winds will come out of the southeast later on for everybody. Then we'll pick up again some snowfall that's continued to move. Brushed Rush Lake there as well as the Rush County there. You can see getting into possibilities of Rhinelander now picking up that snow. Everybody else is dry currently. We're going to keep an eye on what's going to happen because we have some mist and drizzle on the way for today. It'll start up to the north and work its way down towards the south eventually. But we've got drizzle for us, drier conditions as you get into the central portion of the southeast here, holding on to that. You see a little bit of moisture in the Gulf right now, but I checked over by Corpus Christi and Brownsville, Texas. Not much reporting, even Houston, not right now. Holding on to snowfall, getting all the way up into areas up in the Pacific Northwest and into Canada. That's all because of the Pineapple Express pushing in more of that moisture across California. Now we keep an eye on how that's all playing out. We get into it here. You can see that possibility of now some flooding conditions going into areas right by Santa Barbara and of course the central portion of California, holding on to that as you get in all the way into San Luis Obispo. That's where Cal Poly is, if you guys can know and have that in mind. You've got all the way down to Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara, working its way down to Santa Clarita as well, then all the way down to Los Angeles and getting down to Long Beach. Not so much for the heavier stuff getting into areas by San Diego right now, but they'll pick up some rainfall later on. We get back to how this all shapes up. If we get into the temperatures, you're seeing 60s to 50s into California, all the way to the west coast there to the 40s. We have some 30s up along the northern tier, some 20s mixed in there as well. You get down over to the east coast, you've got 40s all the way to the 70s and the 80s. And of course, you get down to the south by Brownsville, Texas, you have 80, 79 as you go into Dallas, Fort Worth, and up into the central portions there, Kansas and everywhere else, looking at 63 degrees. We'll get into how this all shapes up as we flip the script from Saturday. We're in the 40s, right? And then eventually as we go right into Sunday, temperatures are going to change. We've got this real ridge kind of pushing in again, colder air coming in from Canada, as you can see, from Winnipeg. That's going to drop our temperatures back to the teens and the 20s. We get into highs for Wednesday. We're looking at 30s and the 40s today. We're also going to be seeing light winds kick in. We'll go all the way into it. You see these winds kind of switching off with all that circulation kind of moving through, coming in from the northeast and eventually coming in from the west and the east, as you can see eventually. And that continues to push a little bit of that moisture back into the area as you get into Minneapolis, colder airs coming in. We're having snowfall, maybe some ice and stuff, a mix of wintry mix coming from the Ladysmith. That continues all the way to Eau Claire, possibly to Black River Falls, Winona, and then La Crosse gets brushed with that with more rainfall and drizzle. That's for Friday. That's because we've got the overnight stuff coming in from your Christmas night going all the way into your Friday morning. Then that continues to kick out as we go right through sunrise for your Friday. Comes back again up there by Ladysmith, and then we're done. We'll hold on to highs for Thursday for Christmas, where you're looking at 30s, widespread for your forecast, looking pretty good for La Crosse at 36 degrees. And then once we get into how this all shapes up for everybody as we go for the next few days, we're going to hold on to 30s, 40s, and then cool it down. Then we're getting some colder conditions coming in for Monday. Tuesday, we bump it up a little bit as well, going to your last day of 2025. Back to you.
In your Morning Buzz report, comedian Russell Brand is facing new charges. He has been charged with a new count of rape and another of sexual assault. The new charges related to 2 women and followed 5 charges made in April involving 4 other women. 2 counts of rape, 1 of indecent assault, and 2 of sexual assault. Brand will appear at Westminster Magistrates Court on January 20th in relation to the new charges. In happier news, Taylor Swift is spreading Christmas cheer. The music superstar has donated $1 million to Feeding America, a nonprofit network of 200 U.S. food banks. The group's CEO announced the gift on social media, noting her continued support is a powerful reminder of what's possible when we unite to end hunger.
It's not real, normal.
Nightmares don't make you a monster.
They do if you can make them come true.
Stranger Things is everywhere. The Tony-winning Broadway show Stranger Things: The First Shadow just had its biggest box office week since opening in April, fueled in part by the streaming series returning for its final season.
It's a Wi-Fi signal streaming from your head. You were hacked. How long have you willingly been committing treason against the United States government? What?
CIA analyst Alexander Hale finds his brain has been hacked by enemy spies in the new Peacock spy series, The Copenhagen Test. And if that weren't enough, Alexander, a first-generation Chinese American, was already having his loyalty questioned. All 8 episodes of The Copenhagen Test will be available to stream on Peacock beginning December 27th. Now stay with us. We've got what you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is next.
Coming up on CBS Mornings, it's been the coldest December in years in parts of the U.S., and everybody's trying to save money these days. We'll show you how to keep warm without burning a hole in your wallet. Plus, Emmy winner Kiefer Sutherland will talk with us about his new Christmas movie, Tinseltown, and how it fulfilled his love for song and dance. And we'll look at some of the big movies coming out tomorrow on Christmas Day and others you can stream right now to get you into the Christmas spirit. We'll see you at 7.
That's my go-to guy. Can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
You have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a G-Fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
At Bethany St. Joseph, we understand that as you age, finding a place where you feel safe and at home makes all the difference. In our skilled nursing homes, days are filled with enriching activities and friendships that inspire healing. With locations in La Crosse, Onalaska, Galesville, Westby, and Viroqua, our compassionate teams are here to support and help you feel at home, right in your own community. We look forward to meeting you.
It's time to wrap up your holiday shopping for less at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, with great last-minute gifts at even better prices for all the originals on your list. Like assorted Duke Cannon bar soap, $4.99 each. Select candle and wax melt warmers, your choice, $14.99. Men's work and sport shirt jackets, $34.99 while supplies last. Plus, Blaine's gift cards make the perfect stocking stuffers. Find the value you need to bring a little more joy to your world. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Dahl Honda is proud to sponsor News 8 Now's Top Notch Teacher program. It's always a highlight of our month to recognize the top-notch teacher and thank them for all they do for our students in school. Dahl Honda values the great work all teachers do for our children and community. If you know a teacher who deserves top-notch teacher recognition, please nominate them. Thank you, teachers, for going above and beyond and providing a top-notch education.
The Medicare open enrollment has now ended, but if your plan is being canceled, don't worry. You have until December 31st to find a new plan. At Strive Medicare, we bring over 40 years of experience working with Medicare plans. Let our trusted local team guide you to the coverage you deserve.
We came to Strive Medicare and everything was taken care of. A seamless experience.
We're conveniently located inside the Social Security building in downtown La Crosse.
Call Strive Medicare today. We're here to help every step of the way.
You got batteries for my side-by-side?
Yes.
Replace my flashlight?
Sure thing. What about my business?
Oh, good one.
100%. Batteries for my fleet of trucks?
Gas floor scrubbers?
Yes, and fire panels. We have pallets of batteries.
Well, what about...
As your go-to guy, if it needs a battery, we have it.
Well, that's all you had to say.
Could have led with that.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
All right, what do you think?
I think this looks good, but I also think we can do a little better.
I think so too.
You know, I think we can do even better.
I agree.
That's more like it.
Happy holidays from News 8 Now. First warn weather on News 8 Now. Meeting you locally where you are online. Miss a story? See it again or watch us live on YouTube at WKBT News 8 Now. Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
In Berlin, more than 28,000 people came together yesterday to sing Christmas carols by candlelight. It's an over 20-year tradition that started when the local soccer team was having a rough season. A group of 100 people came to the stadium the night before Christmas Eve to sing Christmas songs. It's now an annual event with many more people a part of the festivities. Time now for your morning news now. The Justice Department released thousands of additional files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including several that mention President Trump, but there are no accusations of wrongdoing on his part. One is a 2020 Justice Department email which says Trump made more flights on Epstein's plane than previously known, at least 8 between 1993 and 1996. The Justice Department today acknowledged Trump's name was in the records, but said the sensationalist claims about Trump are unfounded and false. A News 8 follow-up, a judge is dismissing charges against a Genoa man accused of killing a pregnant woman. That man is Matthew Sierra, a La Crosse County judge, now giving prosecutors 72 hours to refile the case. The judge citing issues with the criminal complaint, which does not include a report from fire investigators. Sierra allegedly killed his girlfriend Alexis Pickett, who was pregnant with his child. He reportedly then set her home on fire. Sierra is held on $1 million cash bond. Millions of people are expected to hit the roads, rails, and skies today in the final trek home for the holidays, but weather could get in the way. AAA is estimating another record this holiday, 122 million people expected to travel, up from just over 119 million last year. AAA says same for the roads, with most Americans likely to head home by car. Their estimate about 110 million. Governor Tony Evers is extending Wisconsin's energy emergency. The reason, continued pipeline disruptions. Evers first declared an emergency on December 5th. It was tied to a disruption and a high demand for heating fuel. The declaration remains in effect through January 16th.
All right, we're going to get into at least cloudy conditions today with temperatures rolling into the 30s. We'll even see some drizzle coming in. That'll be light drizzle for the afternoon going into the evening hours as well. Then it should be finished by about the 9 o'clock hour. Then we'll get into temperatures that'll be in the 30s. We finish out going into Friday. We're looking at 40s on the way to Saturday. Then we have a 20% chance rolling into that in the overnight hours into Sunday with blustery conditions on Sunday. Much colder as well, or cooler I should say. Eventually we'll see cooler conditions as we go right back into Monday. Then on Tuesday and of course Wednesday, we start to bring in some more rainfall and the possibility of snow on the way.
Well, it's a good thing it won't be too cold for Santa coming to Wisconsin.
Not too much at all.
And we'll take a last look at Santa as he continues his Christmas Eve journey. It looks like he's maybe heading towards us at some point today, huh?
Yeah. Well, come on, man. Bring it on, buddy.
Right,
Bring it on.
he'll get there. All right, thank you for waking up with us. We'll see you today at noon.